people, we are back at A2TP podcast, episode 214. We are back in the building. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tasha, co-hostess with the most.
And we're back for another episode of us. We up, we live. Y'all know the platforms, Instagram and a bunch of them. Type us in, get us on there. Like, comment, subscribe, share, engage, all that good stuff. But y'all know the platforms we on. Y'all heard us a million times.
Check out the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, those places where you watch podcasts.
Yeah, the main places. I mean, I know some of the obscure places, a lot of people don't watch podcasts, but we there anyway. But Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, main ones where people watch podcasts, so check us out. Let's get right to it. How are you?
I am good.
You look good.
Well, thank you.
Ponytail.
You love a ponytail.
Betty.
I am good. Mentally, I'm a 9. I feel good. Nothing bothering me personally. A couple things going on with people that I love, so that kind of impacts me a little bit, but nothing crazy. One of our babies experiencing some not feeling really good, and then somebody who I love is going through some life things, and so I'm a 9. Financially, an 8. Always God will allow us to be a blessing to others as He continues to bless us. And work is a 9. It's good, but I'm going through one of those moments where it's like, being a people leader, people will try you.
Of course, it's human nature.
It is. And that's why I had to think to myself, like, I don't even think this is specific to, the people who I lead. It's a microcosm of the workforce in general. People will try you. People will be lazy. People will try to get over. People will try to buck the system. People will try to challenge you in a passive-aggressive way. And I'm up for it all. But
most employees want to do less. And that's just the psyche of humans.
Yeah.
They don't want to come to, even if their job is cake, they want to figure out a way to make it caker. That's a word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I don't know if there's any like perfect employee. Like I have a team, and there's some people who are really great at certain things, and it's like a little thing about them. It makes me think about myself. What would somebody say, like my previous leaders or even current, like what would they say that thing about me is? Because I don't think I'm perfect.
Know-it-all or a control freak. I think those things would stand out as far as negative. Nobody can say nothing like negative
my work
about
ethic,
you. Yeah,
right.
your work ethic, but I think
and
those
the quality
two things,
of work that I do.
because that speaks for itself. But I think just outside looking in, the first two things popped to my mind is that she wants to control everything, and what else would I say?
I'm a know-it-all.
Yeah, you're a know-it-all.
I'll take that.
So yeah.
That was work, and then physically I'm a 9 too. Nothing wrong. Just grateful, for health and those things. Don't feel my best, but I definitely don't feel bad. So that's it.
You alright?
Yeah, I feel
you straight.
I'm straight.
Straight because you cool, or you cool because you're straight?
I'm cool because I'm straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. How are you?
I'm good. I'm straight mentally. I feel like a 9. And that's probably because I didn't go to the gym yesterday, and I was a little down, a little bummed about it. I told you how I feel about the gym and me talking to God.
You think
how
you're
that works.
disappointing God?
Yeah, I just and like when you don't listen to him, there's not necessarily in imminent death, but bad things to happen when you don't do what he says. So that's.
But does God ever tell you to like be obedient, take care of your body, and part of that being rest?
Yeah, he tells me that too, but he also tells me that you can push yourself. There's that side of it too. So there's just a balance and a duality that you have to balance because, I don't want to be like he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth because he is telling me to watch yourself, rest, but he also telling me to push yourself because I know what's in you.
Okay.
So it's just a fine balance. And I do feel like I'm letting him down when I don't do what I feel is his assignment.
Okay.
So yeah, but mentally I feel like I'm not. Today I went to the gym, so I feel awesome.
I'm looking forward to when I have a
I'm looking into it. I don't want you to think that I forgot. I'm looking at a few places, okay?
Yeah.
So let me just work my magic, but I didn't forget about you. You don't have to break balls.
I didn't break balls.
But you bring it to the public. That's major ball breaking, because it's recorded. What's next?
That was
my mental.
How's your finances?
My finances is an 8. Always room for growth. As she says, as God blesses us, we want to be a blessing to others. Piggyback on what she said. Work is a 9. At another stage in work where they're starting to put up some drywall. It's almost 900 sheets.
Ooh.
It's a lot of drywall.
You need my help?
Yeah, okay. These guys are little. Spanish guys too, which makes me think about another conversation that I don't want to get into. We're not going down that road this time. But a lot of Spanish guys, they work their asses off, and yeah, we're at that stage of the job now. So it's good to see a different part of it. Lastly but not least is physically, I feel great. Like I said, I went to the gym today. I took it easy because my wife is always asking me to take it easy because I'm getting closer to getting my injury fixed. So I don't want to fuck myself up even more before I get my injury fixed. So I've been taking it easy. But just so you know, when I'm healed up and like we're going hard. We're going hard. I'm just letting you know.
I'm ready.
You gotta hook onto the waist and ride because we're going hard.
I like the ride.
So that's where I'm at.
You ain't give us a number for physicality.
Physicality, I feel like a 9. I thought I said 9. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
So that's where I'm at.
Your wows and woes for this week?
My wow is that God has blessed me with another week. Me and Eddie was getting along real good this week and last week, so I'm super happy about that. Guess what happened to his wife today?
What?
She tried to put a screw in a cabinet, and the screw gun fell in her face and broke her nose.
Oh no!
Gave her like mark where she gonna have 2 black eyes and
Aww.
nose kind of.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope she recovers sooner than later.
Sad.
Yeah.
Women should do women things. It's like, no, I'm just messing with you.
I hope they attack you.
How about you?
What's your woe?
Woe, I don't have no woes. Nothing's bothering me. Nothing's hurting. Nothing's upset. I feel better today than I have in previous days, so I'm just taking it day by stride. Right now, no woes.
That's good.
How about you?
My wow is, well, I'll say my woe first, and then I'll say my wow, because then I think that'll go into the show. Mm-hmm. My woe is just, like I mentioned, somebody who I love going through a difficult season of their life, and just, again, it's not a personal woe, but they're personal to me, so just wanting to be there and be able to support people as much as you can too. And sometimes support just looks like a prayer, that pretty much is it. Sending a song, to say, hey, this made me think about you, hope you're having a good day. So, that's just seeing people go through things and knowing, the emotional toll it can take on them, or the hurt and pain, so that's just like a bummer. My wow is the Eagles, my team, because I am a fan, are Super Bowl champions.
Super Bowl, baby, we up, the city up. A little too much. Maybe a little too much.
No, we did it.
Yeah. No, we gotta stop that. That's 2. You're done for the night.
One more time.
You're
done. 3. You gotta do 3.
You're done for the night. At the end.
Okay.
No more doing the show.
Right. All right.
Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. So that was just exciting. We had a really good Super Bowl day. And, it's like I know people kind of, go to Super Bowl parties and that kind of thing, which I think is cool and reason. I would not want to be one to host a Super Bowl party, considering it's something that starts in the evening. It's on a Sunday. Now, some people may take off work that Monday, depending on the results, but it really don't matter, because if you're tired, you're tired. I wouldn't want to host, but I think it's cool that people have parties. I also think that it's cool, like my sister and her boyfriend, they went to a bar and they said, it was amongst a bunch of people in Center City, non-melanated people, and they had a good time watching it. But one thing I don't like, people tried to run up the price. I forget where she told me one place was $150 to get in.
The tickets, that was on Instagram and all throughout social media all week, that a lot of the sports bars were $175, and you got in and you got I think a certain, like they had a certain menu, open bar for people who drink. I mean, that's not enticing to us, but for people who drink, maybe $175 and food is cheap. So I don't know, because if they're going down there and spending, let's just say $11 a beer, and you're down there all day, who knows what you're spending if you're with 2, 3, 4 people. So I'm just saying that they said $175 in a lot of the sports bars. I don't think Chickies and Pete's did it, but a couple of the other known places was like
I know Xfinity Live was $150.
175.
Yeah. Well, my sister, her boyfriend, I think she said
my
they paid.
Too,
well, yeah, we're talking to the people. Our sister and her boyfriend, I think she said they paid $15.
Okay.
And they were like offered, so then they walked over to Broad Street because it was at 13th and something. So they were able to like just walk right over, and you know it wasn't like a huge known location, so it was kind of like a chill spot, but it was packed in a nice crowd. They had a good time. So just thinking about the different celebrations, you know, people do their thing. We had a great day because you know we chilled. We ate a little bit. I made some great food, and you know, then we enjoyed the game. So it was a good night. And then we didn't even see like the celebration part of it. I mean the like trophies and stuff because lights out. But that was my wow. It was the first Super Bowl I think where I was as engaged as I was this time.
And which is crazy because she says she's a fan and they just won the Super Bowl 6 years ago. But where was you at then?
I'm a new fan. I just jumped on the bandwagon. I've been saying that. I'm on the bandwagon now, but I just got on it.
What are you doing to become a better fan? Are you learning the players? Are you learning the team? Are you learning the game?
Today I was seeing these pictures of number 6, and I didn't know who it was. It's Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
What school did he go to?
I didn't get that far yet. I'm just trying to learn their names and numbers first.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you've had one good Super Bowl day, and then you got to start somewhere. I've seen 39 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. Now I've seen other ones, but I haven't been this engaged.
Super Bowl days. Let me land my plane. I had 39 Super Bowl days. Good days, because you know you made me food. I was watching stuff, and well, you didn't make.
I ain't make them 39 times.
25 you made. So yeah, it was a good day. The Super Bowl was the biggest game watched around the world. It was a good game, even though it was a blowout, and I was kind of on the fence because I'm like more of the greatness, so I wouldn't have been mad if I'd have been upset a little bit that the Eagles made it there and lost, but the fact that you know the three-peat was going to happen, I like to see history, but I do want the team to win of the city that I'm from. So it was a good game. I was happy to see Jalen Hurts shut up a lot of people. I think now he's up in the echelon of elite quarterbacks, which he should be, rightfully so. Yeah, and a lot of the team is coming back, and a good portion of them are leaving. So we'll see what happens next year. The schedule is going to be harder because you're a Super Bowl winning team. You don't have good picks in the draft no more, so you're going to be picking like 31 or 32. So you got to hit on those picks.
Which aren't always bad because Tom Brady was the last person in the 7th round when he was drafted.
6th round.
And
that's an anomaly. That shit don't happen.
Yeah,
that's why it's only one time.
But I'm just saying, Brady. Like, look at Zach Bond.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't a...
No, you can be a walk-on. You can be a trade. You can be a person that a team had thrown away or gave up on and come in and get put in a scheme or a system.
Look at Kurt Warner, came from the grocery store.
Yeah, so you can get in a situation where it's, you know, it pays off for you. I'm just happy for Saquon. I'm happy for all those guys that made the transfer over and it worked out for them. Like, they shut a lot of people up. Now Philadelphia can pick from Super Bowls. You know, like I said, 8 years ago we had no Super Bowls. Now we got some Super Bowls, and you know, the Cowboys stink, so we always love that. So I think it was a great game. I didn't think it was any bad calls. I did like the I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of the school, but the band that played in the beginning, in the opening, that was super dope. I always like to see a choir or a band. That shit just sounds great.
You do enjoy a choir.
Yeah, so that was cool to see.
Lettucey.
Yeah, I like Lettucey. She's dope. So yeah, all in all, it was a great game. On to the halftime show.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar did the halftime show.
What was your take on it?
I go first. Let me land. I don't want to sound like a bromance or nothing, but I love Kendrick Lamar. Like I listen to him a lot, a lot, a lot. She knows this, and she always telling me you listen to him too much. But I listen to Kendrick in the gym. I listen to him a lot when I'm driving home from work sometimes. But I like his rap style. I like his boldness. I like his blackness. I like the message he had in there. Like I like the whole the stage being a PlayStation controller and it being like America is controlling the people. His message within that. I love the songs. I like the way he raps. And the fact that he had the balls enough to play Not Like Us. So a lot of people thought this ain't gonna play because of the lawsuit. And right before it played, he had like a little medley of a rhyme that he changed up and was saying why it wouldn't play and then why he was going to play it anyway. So it's like something you had to listen to 2 times to get the message and what he was doing.
Go ahead, I'm listening to you. You got a lot of hand motion going.
I was talking with my hands.
Yeah.
I was Italian for a minute. But yeah, it was just a great message within all of the songs. The way he moved across the whole stage. Like I said, the way he presented Not Like Us. And then I like when Serena came out. I love that part. So yeah, those that's my thoughts on it. I think he's a huge artist. I don't think white people got him. You know, I think the white folks in their living rooms was like, who is this? And why did they pick him? Because I don't know a word to these songs. But for us, I think it was super, super, super dope. Yeah. What say you?
I love his fearlessness and that he made a statement with his performance. And I don't dislike him. I'm not a huge fan. I don't really know his music like that except for like the radio hits, like the more recent things like They Not Like Us. I don't think he was the best pick for a Super Bowl performance because even outside of like white people, even a lot of black people, like he's not one of those people where his discography is widely known. So like the Super Bowl show, you kind of like want to be up and jamming, like when it was Rihanna and Usher and stuff like that, like more of a popular artist. However, with that being said, I love the show. I could have watched it on mute because just visually to me it was appealing. I love to see artistry in a performance. Don't just get up there and have a microphone, just like I love to see artistry. And that can be displayed in different ways, but I loved his artistry, the movement of the dancers, how it, they weren't just dancing, like it was making movement, like when they were the flag and that sort of thing. So I love the visual perspective of it. Afterwards, like seeing some commentary about it and the messages that were in the music and things like that, the uncle, Samuel Jackson being Uncle Sam, like I love the performance. Again, I don't really know his music like that, so I wasn't able to like really jam with it. I had to wait for They Not Like Us to really jam with it. But looking at it, I thought it was a great performance. Like he did a great job at putting on a show. Now, whether or not you like the music, don't like the music, know the music or not, just visually to me, it was beautiful.
I think that's within the message. I think a lot of people miss that. He has a discography that is widely known. It's just his FU to America that I'm not controlled and I'll pick the songs that I want to pick. So I'm so street, I'm so hip hop. Take these hip hop songs and this is what I want to do. I want to rap. But y'all, we're conditioned and programmed to think I'm supposed to get up here and do All Right and do all the other hits that he has that people widely know, Money Trees and Swimming Pools and all these songs that people widely know, Humble, like all these great songs. But he picked the songs that he wanted to do because this is what I'm feeling at the time on the biggest stage. And having the You Guys Don't Control Me, even like not wanting me to play Not Like Us and all that kind of shit. I'm still going to play it because the crowd wants to hear it. And then I gave a little hint that the crowd wants to hear it. I know they do. And like, you know, it's coming. Like all those innuendos in there was saying, F you to America, I'm not controlled.
I get it, but nobody wants to hear B-side tracks on the halftime show. I mean, and I'm not necessarily saying
they're not B-side. I heard what you're saying.
I'm not necessarily saying they are B-side tracks because they may be to his fans.
It was
popular songs.
It was GNX.
But it's like, you know,
just came out.
When somebody's doing a Super Bowl show, it's like you want to hear the hits. Like you want to hear the hits. You want to hear those songs where you want to be up the whole time. And it was just, even looking at the crowd, the white people was like, what is going on
like,
here?
What is it?
Like, they were sitting there, like, not even, like, giving a little head bob. Like, they didn't know. So, yeah, again, I mean, from a musicality perspective, you know, wasn't my thing. But I could have watched it on mute, and it was beautiful showmanship.
It was. He does a great show. A lot of people say you should go online and look at his show that he did in Paris. And they say like the theatrics and the showmanship is like next level. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to look at it. He brought Serena out for a little. And
SZA, her sexiness.
Yeah. Before we get to Serena, SZA, I understand playing that song because she's on the single and y'all have a song together. Luther Vandross, The Man in the Garden, like I don't want to hear that song. And again, I like the GNX, the album, but I would have enjoyed hearing Humble and All Right. Yeah. And the songs that you know. Yeah. When you hear them, you'll be like, oh shit, I know this. Oh shit, I know this. Oh shit, I know this. He could have, as dope as he is, he could have gave that same message with his hit songs. Yeah. But again, I get it. He's doing what he wants to do. Yeah. And it was super dope.
Even like his friend, part of his entourage or whoever it was, who had the flag, you know, with a shout out to God.
That ain't been confirmed yet. That if that was his people or part of the show. I'm just saying it hasn't been confirmed. That guy got banned from the NFL for life. Can't come to a game or in a stadium across the country.
You think he ran up on the stage as like a stranger?
Don't know yet. Nobody ever saw him. Like he had 50 niggas jump out the car. Nobody ever saw him get out the car. He was just there on the stage. So if you were there and like if you were live, you might have seen where he came from.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it hasn't been confirmed from his camp or whatever whether he was in, whether that was a part of the show. If it was, that's even more genius.
But I don't think
more genius.
I don't think he would. I think, and this is just my opinion, I looked at it as he's part of the show. And he's going to do this thing, and he's going to take the fall to make it seem like, no, Kendrick didn't know, like, you know, he was a rogue person that did that on his own, but really, like,
I'm not going to disagree with that because with Kendrick, everything is intentional with him. Yeah. Everything. He don't do shit just to do it. He do shit because there's a meaning behind it. Like he's saying something without actually saying something. Yeah. So that's how I look at anything he does.
But it's crazy how as much as we seen on camera, if people didn't have cell phones, nobody would have seen the way they tackle him. Oh yeah. On that field. Yeah.
They took him down. It wasn't like he was a streaker where they'd be like, you know, I don't want to touch a naked motherfucker.
No, they took him down. Men in suits like they were Secret Service.
Once they realized he was rogue. And they like probably read his flag. They was like, "Oh no!"
And they had earpieces on. People were probably like, "Get that guy! Get him!"
134 million people, the biggest watched Super Bowl ever in history. 134 million people watching. Yeah, tackle that motherfucker. Yeah. Serena came out and crit walk. She got some slack. She looked awesome as she always.
You always loved like you used to like when girls would do the chicken hair. Like you love a good dancer
from a girl.
Yeah. From a girl. Yeah.
But she just she always. I never seen Serena Williams look bad. She looks good. She knows how to fucking crit walk. My feet and ankles don't do that. Like, they don't go that way as loose and fluid as hers does. As hers does. Wow, I couldn't get that out. I was stroking. As hers does. But she got some flack for that. A lot of people were saying, why are you glorifying Crip culture? Your sister was killed by a Crip. Like, believe me, like somebody had the audacity to say that. Like, your sister was killed by a Crip. And, she did that at Wimbledon, she crip walked with her sister in the stands, like they was, and she crip walked, and she got fined like $75,000 for that shit. So there's a meaning behind that. Like when she gets the light, she likes to do that. I don't have a problem with it.
And my thing is, why don't Snoop get the slack of wearing blue all the time?
They asked Snoop not to crip walk in the Super Bowl when he did it with Snoop and Dre and 50 Cent, Eminem. They asked him to, and he did it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is Snoop always wears like blue,
and he wears that flag. Not even the color. He wears the bandana flag.
But he wears the color too. Like when he gets an opportunity, he wears blue, representing. I don't necessarily look at it from a Serena perspective as her glorifying the Crips. It's a tribute to.
She's from Compton.
Exactly. So
like
that's what I look at it as. That's like if we go somewhere and we playing Meek. Hold up, wait a minute, like. It's representative. It's
of Philadelphia.
Yeah, of where you're from. So I don't necessarily look at that as like her glorifying. And again, she may not.
It's representing. I don't know if it's glorifying See, a lot of people when they say glorify, they think you glorifying the killing and the bad part of what they do. And it's representing. Don't get me wrong. If you wear that blue, you're representing, and that's fine, but that don't mean you gangbang.
Right.
Just because you crip walk and do a dance, that don't mean you shot somebody that night. So you gotta stop tying the intertwining the two.
Yeah. I don't necessarily see an issue with it. I thought she looked great. She did a great job. She had a great crip walk going on. She looked dope up there. And it was good, just to see her because, again, she's a shout out to Compton. It was good to see her up there. Some people, who knows because some people were saying like, oh, it was a dig at Drake because she used to mess with Drake. And I don't think it went that far. I think it was just because she was from Compton. Like she married.
I think it's some of that too. Drake, if you're not into the rap stuff like that, but Drake shot at her husband just for nothing. In a rap song, he had a lyric about something like your husband is a nobody, and that was like, why did he do that? Like out of nowhere. So I could see her going to dance on your ops, basically at your funeral, because once they played that song and everybody with the A minor, it was a wrap for you.
What did you think about? I heard Stephen A. Smith said something like he would have divorced his wife, if Serena was his wife. He would have divorced her if she got up there and did that.
Because of the dancing, what she had on?
No, because she got up there and crip walk.
No, I think he's a bit dramatic. Yeah, that's dramatic. I'm not divorcing my wife because she crip walked. Like, what we talking about? She danced.
Yeah.
Like, and she's Serena Williams. She's like, so what we? Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not. No, not doing that.
I thought she looked good. She looked good. Shout out to her. It was a fun, unexpected cameo. Yeah.
Anytime Serena, like Kendra said, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
Right.
So you pop out.
Who would you want to see next on this performing the halftime show?
A lot of see, this is tough for me. Before we move on to that, do you think Lil Wayne could have did that? And don't separate his catalog from like who you see today. So just thinking, do you think Lil Wayne could do a 13-minute set at the Super Bowl and be clear and sound clear and have voice control and all that kind of shit? I'm not saying he doesn't have the 6 songs to do it.
Right. I think he could have done a great show. And you know what? Where I think it would have. I think it would have been a great show, and there would have been, not that I care about it being crossover, but where I think a great element he could have added is like that rock star stuff in it. I think yes, like because guitar. When I think about like him doing his God did, like he
epitomizes
he
that.
Can clean up a little bit. Like I think he could have. I think he could have done a great set as well. Now when you think about the artistry, like I was talking about in the visual element, right. I don't think he would have had that. He would have needed like some new like production because I don't think he's used to like that's part of his repertoire.
A studio rap. I don't think he's creative in that sense of visual. I think he's creative with raps. Like Wayne likes to rap. So he would have got up there and it would have been like, look how good I'm rapping. Yeah. But it wouldn't have been so much as look what you see behind me, this message, the theatrics of it, not the pageantry of it. No.
If he had a production, I think it would have been like skateboarder rocker influence. Like I could see him having some skateboard ramps up there and having some bomb, skateboarders up there doing tricks and stuff on ramps while he's performing, flipping in the air and stuff like that. So that's the kind of production I think he would have gave, different than like choreography. And again, I think he would have included the rocker element, maybe Travis Barker or something like that. So I think he could have done a show. It would have been completely different, but I think he could have done a show.
I'm trying to see. Who do I want to see next? Man, do I want to see? Let me try to think of females real quick.
Well, while you thinking, I'll tell you one. I'll throw one out there. I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately. I think Chris Brown could do a great show.
That would be. I was gonna say that's who the people want to see, but who do I want to see? Mm-hmm. I can't really. Beyonce. I mean, I'd like to see Jay do it. I mean, I don't think he would, but I think he came out on songs with her and might pop out, but I'd like to see him do a 13-minute set. If he's got some new music and do the old slaps, I would love to see that. But and then like you just said, the people want to see Chris Brown.
I would want to see Chris Brown too. Yeah. I'm not I don't dislike Chris Brown. I just don't know enough of his music, but I think he could give a great show.
But I would want the whole kit and caboodle. So
like the dancing and
that too, but it's publicly they're in public. Him and Rihanna have pieced it up and made it up. So if Chris Brown does it, I would love to see him do it and bring out Rihanna. Yeah, that would be tight.
I don't think that's necessary. I don't
think it's necessary. I just said I would like to see it.
I mean, because with song, I don't think. I don't know. That wouldn't do it for me, because I feel
you like it. You would think ill or like.
No, I just think I hate that people aren't beyond that conversation. Like,
I think a lot of people. Well, I don't want to be insensitive. People who've been through DV are not over that conversation, and I get it. But I think because they publicly pieced it up after all these years, that it wouldn't hurt to see them. I think a lot of people will be like, "Damn, they had a real thing." And it lasted 20 years, and now they're on stage again.
But have they publicly? I mean, we seen that one video from years ago where she kind of gave him a hug, but she might still feel like, yeah, I forgive you, but I don't mess with you like that.
It could be.
You know what I mean? Like she could feel like, I forgive you, I want the best for you, but stay away from me.
I would just like to see that. If Chris Brown did it, I mean, don't get me wrong. If he did it and she didn't come out, that would be great. But if he did it, I would like to see the whole kit caboodle. I think that would be dope, and everybody would be like, holy shit, the internet would break.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, Chris Brown, not only did he do the Super Bowl, but he brought Rihanna out for a song or whatever.
Yeah, I can't even think of another star that's big enough right now.
That can do 13. Well, the Weeknd, but I'm not into the Weeknd. I don't know one song of the Weeknd, and even hearing his sleepers on a podcast I watch, it's barely any words.
Well, so I don't think you need R&B. You need some pop.
He's a pop artist. The Weeknd.
He got sings sexy songs. I mean, he's more of a singer than the Weeknd. He's
mainstream, babe. He's huge.
No, he's huge. I know.
Stadium tours.
I understand that, but he's not you think about the Super Bowl. You want some hype it up music, and I don't.
Travis Scott. I mean, I don't like anybody. Me neither. But he's a big fucking artist. When you think about female artists, it's you don't want to see Cardi B. You don't want to see. I don't think SZA can do it by herself. I don't think
I don't because she's R&B too.
Jasmine Sullivan.
I love Jasmine. I don't think she. See, when I think about the Super Bowl halftime show, but you're talking about singing. You're not where's the dancing coming in?
She ain't do no dancing. A-Keys did it. But, I mean, she had another prop, which is a piano. I get what you're saying. The dancing ain't there, so she had a piano. So that's going to, everybody's attached to that when, when she's on the piano. But A Keys did it.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think about the cat, like you think about Beyonce, you think about Rihanna, you think about Usher, like they giving us some.
I don't want to see them. I don't want to see Beyonce.
No, I'm saying the people who have already done it.
I don't want to see
give
Usher
us
do it.
some pop, hype it up music where we can dance and jam to it. I love Jasmine Sullivan. I would want to see her in concert every time she came for a concert so I can sing along. I just don't think that's a Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, no Beyonce, no Usher. No Bruno Mars.
I would like a Bruno.
He did it like 10 years ago. So I'm just saying, like, just get a new person up there. Rihanna ain't gonna do it by herself. She just did it a few years ago. So yeah, it ain't too many people out that can hold that stage for 13 minutes.
Yeah,
people have catalogs, but like you said, the performance of it, they just.
You know what will never happen,
a band, maybe.
but would have been great, a Bad Boy performance. It'll never happen.
I heard that on a show I was watching today that two people that'll never see that stage that could hold it is Puff and Kells.
Yeah.
They can hold that stage and do a fucking magnificent job, but they never gonna sniff the Super Bowl stage.
Nah.
Ever.
Nope.
Yeah, but Puff would have did like a Bad Boy reunion. He would have had 6 different people that was under him that he would have brought out. R. Kelly would have been out there by himself, and he would have sung 12 hits.
Yeah, he would have done.
He would have sung 12 hits.
Well,
and he would have did an ISO where he'd have showed his voice because he can sing like a motherfucker too.
Another family of artists, just to kind of transition to some sad news. Another R.I.P. Murder Inc.
Yeah,
they have a category of music that hits after hits after hits. You talking about J-Lo, Ja Rule, Ashanti, like that could definitely be a great show of like some 2000s hits.
Mm-hmm.
The founder, I don't know if he was or one of the founders of Murder Inc.
Of Irv,
okay.
Yeah, of
Irv Gotti passed away. Only 54 years old.
Which is sad. And what's even sadder is that you died from something that's preventable. And I'm not going to sit here and speak bad about him. A lot of people say he was super arrogant and like a Dame Dash type, like very brash in his speaking and how he treated and talked to people. And a lot of people said even with his sickness, he had the mindset of, sometimes fuck this shit. Like, I'm tired of dealing with this. I want to live and eat how I want to eat and do what I want to do until it got to a point where he got really sick.
He had diabetes, right?
Yeah, and then he would go back on his medicine and do right. And then again, I'm tired of this shit and have that mindset. And I just don't think you should, I don't think you want or should play with your health like that. And again, rest in peace to him. I'm not saying like you had it coming or anything like that, but you just can't play with your health like that, especially when you're dealing with something that can bring you to death.
And it did.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. I don't care what's going on in my life. I got kids I want to be around, a wife, his brothers. Like I just like I'm not like everybody looks to me as like the what is
patriarch.
As the patriarch of the family. So it's like I can't have that lackadaisical attitude towards my health. 54 is fucking way too young to be dying. Way too young to be dying. So rest in peace to Irv Gotti. My condolences to his family, his friends. But if something's wrong with you, man, you can't just be like, hey, if you're gonna fight for your life, and you can't just be like, hey, I ain't doing it for 6 months. Like that shit can bite you in the ass, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It is not a healthy mindset to have, no matter what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
It could be like diabetes to the smallest thing, because you could be making something that's small into something big.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the doctor, take care of yourself. If something's wrong, let's try to get it fixed. And if something you got to live with, then, let's buckle down and try your best to fight and live with it. I know people with diabetes at work, and I know a guy who's had that attitude like, fuck it. And it took him years to get his shit together, but eventually he did. And then I know a guy at work, as soon as he knew, he was strict about his eating and all that kind of shit. So you just got to be on it.
Yeah. sad. Like you said, 54 is young, and he got kids.
Yep.
And, he. I hope in the end that it served a purpose to show like to others. Hopefully some purpose came out of it, and it's a shame. Rest in peace to him and condolences to his family.
Yep. Irv Gotti, everybody know he had this long lasting beef with 50 Cent. 50 Cent was shot by some people that was affiliated with Irv Gotti. And that beef has been long lasting in the music industry, in the rap industry, since these two been out. And even in death, 50 Cent had posted some stuff that was distasteful. If somebody hurts you wrong in life to the point where you cut them off or you don't stand with them, like they really, really fucked you over, do you hold a grudge even in death? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, if it's up forever, or is it like, I hated you while you was alive and now you dead, I feel sorry for you, or I have grace for you. When you was alive, I probably wished you were dead anyway. And I'm specifically talking about, like, not bullshit stuff you got between you, like, on the surface shit. A person really fucking hurted you or harmed you and affect your life in a way. So where are you at with holding a grudge at death, even if somebody, they fucked you over, affected your life, not necessarily violently, but, just like a real beef.
You know me and you know my heart, and you know that I could never wish death on anybody. But there are people in
Have you ever? I'm sorry, before you go
on. No, but there are people who I have written off in my life where I probably once loved them and no longer love them, and it's up forever. And I would never like relish in their... I'm not the kind of person to relish in anybody's death, but I damn sure ain't gonna shed a tear or be sad about it. But I'm not gonna shed a tear or be sad about it, but I'm not gonna laugh and mock about it.
I was about to say you're not gonna smile about it either.
No, it is what it is, and it was time. But that kind of stuff I brings back. Like, your heart shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't. I don't think you should carry on that way or act in that way towards somebody's towards their death or their downfall, anything like that. If you don't like them, you got beef, it is what it is, and let it be up forever. But it doesn't mean you have to say negative things and do negative things and put on a show about it, because they have people that love them, and maybe you don't care about that either, and that's fine. But yeah, that's just not my heart to ever be like that.
I think
I'm
you're
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. Let me say one up. There are some people in my life who have crossed me, who I don't have a relationship with anymore, not on as much of a serious scale as others, and they are going through like really life threatening things. And my heart feels empathy for them. Not in a way to be like, okay, it's not up anymore, but to at least pray for them. Like, damn, I hope they get better. So, yeah, I'm that's just not in my soul to be that kind of person.
And I didn't think it was. And that's like on a broader note or specific to you. In this particular instance, if I think somebody shot me or paid somebody to shoot me 9 times and I live, I think I could hold a grudge like that. Because of how you hurt me, because of how close I come to death. Like when you realize what you had to do to get back to yourself, like, just learning how to walk again. Like those things that you have to go through to get back to self after being shot 9 times, a bullet breaking your jaw and shit like that. Like, I just think there's some things in life, not only violence, but there's some other things that you could do to a person that can say, I'm still holding a grudge.
No, you can hold a grudge, but how you act out on it is something different. You can still hold that grudge in your heart, but you don't have to say and do mean and hurtful things. You could still feel like, F you, I don't care, and write you off as, in your mind, they could already be dead, even if they living, because you're holding a grudge and you have written them off. So I'm not saying not to hold that grudge, but what I'm saying is to act on it or speak on it in a negative way at somebody's untimely demise is just evil, I think.
Mm.
And I know you and I know your soul.
I think if somebody hurt you or took you away from me, I think I would hate them till death. Mm-hmm. And I would relish in it too. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sitting here, and that's just off the cuff of like trying to put into a quantity of how much I love you and care about you. That if somebody took you from me, I don't think that, and again, God may touch me in a way where he might say, I don't ever want you to be that angry, so I'm not going to let you get that far. But I think sitting here now, there's nothing that would be able to stop the rage that I have for a person that did something like that to you. It wouldn't be nothing. And I would take that to the death. Like, and again, I'm that's ignorant shit, but I'd be sneaking out there at night doing shit to people's graves. Like, I'm telling you, like, peeing on it. Like, it would be up forever in a situation like that. So I just think it's circumstantial, and it depends on the person. And the person who does, do you think the person who reaches out publicly like that or doing something like I'm doing, like sneaking in the graves at night, do you think something's wrong with us?
No, I don't think it's like
we need to talk to the lady because...
Well, you definitely need to talk with the lady. You definitely talk, because at some point you can't allow that anger and hatred to eat away at you and, and diminish your quality of life. It's going to consume you.
Right.
It's going to consume you. I think 50 Cent is kind of in a bubble because financially he doesn't need anybody. Like, if he never got a deal or, a chance to work or somebody, take one of his shows or something, like, he doesn't need anybody from a financial aspect, but he does need to talk to the lady to heal some of that hurt in his heart.
I would agree. The other day I seen an interview with him. He got 36 shows on 10 different networks. I was like, God damn. Yeah. 3 grams. Kanye West again. Kanye West with the anti-Semitic remarks, blaming it on mental illness. This is an ongoing thing. I do feel sorry for people with mental illness. I'm just starting to feel less sorry for him, and I'm thinking that it's a ploy to roll out albums. It's a ploy to get attention. To strip down your whole website and just sell white t-shirts with black swastikas on them, and then like it's foul. I don't, the stuff that he's saying, call me Hitler, I'm yay Hitler now, Hitler was so fresh, like all that kind of shit is disrespect and a heinous thing to say to a group of people. And as far as being black and like what happened to us, like I just think that shit is going way too far. Even for a dude who loves attention, you're starting to say stuff that a lot of people are starting to think you believe these things. Like, this is your true self. You believe these things, and everybody know Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, you believe them. So, just your thoughts on his antics again.
I want to check the box for all of the above. Like, I do think that this is attributed to mental illness. I do think it's part of an album rollout because I personally feel like he stops taking his medicine when he's in the creative mood, because we know how people say, like, when you take drugs for, like, whether it's depression or bipolar, like, yeah, it diminishes you a little, like, it kind of dulls you. I can't think of the word right now, but yeah, it kind of dulls. So I think he stops taking it purposely to be, like they say, some of the world, and I'm not calling him a genius, but some of the world's geniuses were psychotic. Like, when you think about, was it Beethoven, I think?
Beethoven,
Picasso, Albert Einstein. So I think
to
be able to tap into that creative side, he stops taking his medicine. He's an adult, but I also blame the people around him, because who is going to love him enough to say, enough is enough? We're not supporting this. That's fine. But I also feel like, too, I don't want to work for you. It ain't no amount of money you can pay me to allow me to be a part of this, to have myself attached to this. And if everybody quits, if nobody, but I mean, that's kind of, I know that's kind of foolish to say, because he'll find somebody that will want to do it for the money just because of the greed. But if he has nobody to work for him and somebody to check him and be like, yo, this is not acceptable. This wife that he got, I don't know what their relationship is like, but if you love him enough, you would do something to help him. You would do something to help him if this is related to mental illness, whether it's 302 him. And y'all know I'm not an advocate for like medication, but when it's needed, and for some people who have psychological or psychiatric issues, that's the only thing that can help sometimes. And if this is related to some sort of psychiatric breakdown, he needs medication.
He said, I have dominion over her. Whatever, you know, you can look up dominion, but I'm thinking that means like I got...
He's dominant. You have dominion over me, but I love you enough where...
use it like that.
Exactly.
Like make you dress up, well, not dress naked and go out on the fucking Grammy stage and to a place where not invited and show your ass and your tits. Like, no, that's not happening. I think you're right. I think he stops taking his medication when he's in a creative state, which he has a new album that's coming out. And I think it fucks him up. Mm-hmm. And I think he goes off the rails. I think this particular time...
He went too far.
He went way too far. This is beyond that. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going DEFCON 3 on the Jews. This is beyond that. Like, he's talking about... He said Hitler like 50 fucking times in the last 4 days.
And to be selling shirts with swastikas on it, it's just fueling a fire that you... Like, it's too far. It's disrespectful. It's way too far. I'm surprised...
He needs to take his lashes. Hold on. He needs to take his lashes like we're giving him. That's some dumbass shit that you did and some sick shit, some cynical shit that you did. But it also speaks to the people. He put up on another Instagram post, he made $1 million in one day selling swastika shirts. So people bought that shit. And he stripped his whole website down and only sold the shirt.
But another thing is the capitalistic world we live in, they let him have a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have accepted his money. Like, I mean, at some point, somebody has to say, nah, we good.
That's a different conversation, but you also got to speak to the people who bought that shit. You can't say they all were white, because some people saying, oh, I'm going to buy this because it's worth something. There's people that's buying it that's white. There's people that's buying it because they support that kind of shit.
Right, but what I'm saying, his Super Bowl commercial, he was saying, he was in a dentist chair, and he was like, hey, y'all, I spent all my money on these teeth. So, yeah, like, I had to make this video myself on the iPhone again. So, go to Yeezy.com. And it was like him laying in a dentist chair, recording himself. And so he was just telling everybody, go to Yeezy.com, where he's selling the shirts. So, again, y'all are helping him to promote this. And at some point, you gotta stop. I mean, and it's not just because it's swastikas. It's because it's hate speech. Yep. If he was selling shirts with nooses on it, it'd be like, ho, 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 what are you doing?
Yep, it's divisive. And you never know when he's going to flip off the rails and go. He might go DEFCON 3 on black people next. You never know who he's going to attack next. It's just a person that is dangerous, and you got
to himself, too.
Yeah, to himself and people. He's just dangerous. Because let's face it, he has a following. Like, he has a following, and he's the dangerous dude. Ram 2. Kodak Black was seen sitting in the street eating chicken out of a tray on the ground. Looking real high and spaced out again. It's a shame. It's sad. A lot of people think it's a ploy because shit that I can't pick up on, probably if I paid attention, people said because he was being filmed with 4K cameras, that it's some type of ploy or rollout. That wasn't like a regular person just filming them with a phone. Like, why is 4K cameras filming them on the street?
Well, I don't know. Like, is 4K cameras something that people don't have?
Apparently some people who into the business real deep, not like myself, can spot that shit when they see it. Like, when it's being filmed, it's like, oh, this is on a 4K camera that costs $18,000.
But maybe it was paparazzi. Like, who's seen it, like, so they would have it because they make, I don't know, but this is another example to me of where are the people that love him? Like, he needs to go to rehab. He needs to go to rehab. How far y'all gonna let this go till he, I don't know. Did DMX die of an overdose? I don't want to put that on. Okay. Until it's a situation like that, like, how far is this gonna go? His baby mom, I don't know if they're still together, but one of his children's mothers, I think they have 2 children together. She was on that new show Wags to Riches, and talking about their life together. And she's a beautiful young woman. She's a realtor, a little busted baby, but she a rapper too, getting herself together. And it's like, where's the people that love him to send him to rehab? Like, come on, boo, let's go out for a date, and I'm driving your ass to Eagleville or wherever is the Eagleville of where y'all live at. We can't do this.
When you get back home and he beat you there, what you gonna say?
What you mean
when you drive back to the house and he already at the house? What you gonna say?
We can't.
I just dropped you off at rehab.
This is where, like, when we watch Intervention and they tell people you have to give people ultimatums at that point. You have to do this or we can no longer do this. You can't see your kids. I'm not letting you. Like, we can't be together. I'm moving out. Like, we will have no. Like, you have to set boundaries for people, because if not, if you just tolerate and allow them, you become an enabler, and until you're going to enable them to hurt themselves. So I'm not blaming his behavior on anyone else, but what I am saying is, where do the people who love him come into play to help fight this? Now, and I do know, and not from a personal standpoint, but just from here, like, when it comes to recovery and stuff like that, people have to be ready, but you gotta at least try and push him. And I don't know, maybe people are, but he shouldn't be this visible to the public this many times, being as high as he is.
No.
And he has too much access to money to, like, he can hurt himself. He can really hurt himself with the amount of drugs that he's able to buy because of his stature and his financial status. It's scary. It's a shame.
It's a shame. He's young. He's black. He's rich, and this is like his road to his adult life. It's a shame. And you talk about a kid who's been doing drugs since a teenager. Like, I'm sure it's hard for him.
He got some kind of hurt and pain going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was saying he had like 25 friends that died. Like, it's so there's that. There's mourning that he needs to do. Like, there's a lot of shit he probably needs to face. His drug habit. And it's a shame that he's young, he's black, and, he's one of us. And it's just a shame to see him like that. Even though I don't know none of his music, I'm not into him, but I don't want to see him on my timeline fucked up dead. Like that. Yeah, being dead or overdosed or, some shit coming out his mouth one day. So, Kodak, get better, man. Young black boys out there, they see this, like, take heed to it. Yeah. Take heed to it. The new Jordans, Ram 3, new Jordans popped out, and I want to tie this into another thing. The new Jordans popped out, and they showed a line of people out and wrapping around 4 or 5 blocks, standing in line to get Jordans that, I think they cost $800 or some shit like that. But they drop in, and it's a limited amount. How is people standing in line wrapped around a corner 4 blocks for Jordans that cost $800 and people bitching about eggs?
Priorities.
Like, and again, this line had white people, black people, Spanish people, everybody in it, and everybody's buying eggs. So this ain't specific to one race. This is specific to people. How are we going to talk out one side of our mouth that eggs are $13 a carton, but we will go stand in line to buy sneakers that's $800?
The only thing I will say,
we live in a twilight zone.
I'm not like saying this is good at all for a shoe to cost $800. The only thing I will say that maybe on some people's mind, they're looking at it as an investment, because the sneaker resale market is so huge. So they can buy those sneakers, put them right on GOAT. Now they're $800. They can flip it and turn it into $2,000, especially if they are as limited as you're saying. That's the only good thing I can think people are thinking about the investment that they're making. But that's crazy. That's insane. That's insane.
And people will leave there and go to the market and say these fucking eggs are $12 a carton.
Yeah, well, you can't flip eggs though, so maybe that's the thing.
But what about the people that's not flipping them? What about I give you that just from people who are sneakerheads and who sell sneakers. But I would say a third of that.
Well, the sneakerheads ain't selling them; they keeping them. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like people want to wear them on their feet. They want to be the first to have them, like the first iPhone, like a new iPhone or some shit. Like I want to put these J's on.
It just goes to show.
Going to the game with my J's on. Right?
It just goes to show you how time. I remember, Toya, my oldest nephew, her son, he is 28, I think, and I remember back when he was I remember back when he was like 12, 13, 14, and Toya would, be complaining about having to buy him sneakers, and she used to they were Nike, some kind of Nikes, they would call 160s because they cost $160, and you're talking about 15 years ago. And I used to be like, sheesh, like, I'm happy we don't have no kid, like, boys be wanting 160, and just think now, years, and they weren't Jordans, but just think $160 then, and I'm thinking that is astronomical for sneakers, and 15 years later, people pay $800, like. And
the young kids now, his age, like, how old was he then?
14 or so.
And now the 14 and 15-year-olds wear $1,000 hoodies and $1,000
or Lanvin sneakers and that sort of thing.
$1,000 sneakers, and it's like he wanted $160s.
$1,000 Balenciagas.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You going to school? Why do you need a hoodie that costs $9.90?
Yeah, I mean, just goes to show you the sign of the times. People, in this society, two things can be true. Life is high, life is expensive, everything is going up. On the other hand, people are shopping, people are buying the things that they want, people are going broke, for the look. It's sad to say, but it's been like that since time immemorial, though. It's nothing new except that there's new names, there's, the only thing new is the price tags. But it's been like that, forever, and people will continue to do it. It's crazy. Like I be doing long division trying to see what's the cheapest price per egg. Like if I buy this carton of eggs, let's break it down. Okay, this come to 37 cents an egg. This 41 cents an egg. Are we gonna get these eggs? Like it's crazy how much stuff is out here. The housing market, like you see houses that for sure 5 years ago was $150,000 and now they $300,000. Like. It's talking to a friend today and looking at like the housing markets, houses for sale, seeing houses like $4,600 in like an old neighborhood we used to live in, like 4 or 5 bedroom house for rent, like $4,600.
It's crazy.
Like, but life is expensive as F right now.
Mm-hmm. I just think there's a contrast between standing in line for Jordans for $1,000
and buying $8
bitching
eggs.
About buying eggs. Everybody's bitching about buying eggs. And don't get me wrong, they are high. They went from $2 and $3 a carton to $12 and $15. They are high, but that's the more of a reason why you should not be standing in line to spend $800. Go buy $400 worth of eggs and put $400 in the bank. Like what's going on? That's crazy. That's a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 214 coming to a close. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player FM. Type us in, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. That's about it. It's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-host with the most.
If y'all fuck with us, y'all fuck with us. If y'all don't, y'all share in peace.
You said it. I could get one more.